Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling overthinking. You know that feeling when your brain feels like a browser with 20 tabs open? It's exhausting, but don't worry, we're here with tools to combat it. We'll explore 7 effective ways to stop overthinking and how to apply these tips in your everyday life. Let's kick things off with mindfulness. It's a practice that has been around for centuries, rooted in ancient traditions, yet it has found a significant place in our modern lives. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about being fully aware of where we are and what we're doing without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's happening around us. Think of it like this. You're sitting by a stream and your thoughts are like leaves floating on the water. You watch them pass by, acknowledging their presence, but you don't feel the need to chase after them or hold on to them. You see them, you acknowledge them, but you don't jump in and try to hold on to each one. This practice helps create a sense of calm and clarity, allowing you to navigate through life's challenges with a more balanced perspective. One of the easiest ways to practice mindfulness is through your senses. By tuning into what you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, you anchor yourself in the present moment. What do you see right now? What do you hear? Take a moment to really notice the details around you. The colors, the shapes, the sounds. What can you smell, taste, touch? Engage with these sensations fully. Feel the texture of the fabric, the aroma of the flower, the taste of your food. Focusing on these sensations can help ground you in the present moment. It brings your mind back from wandering and helps you appreciate the here and now. And the best part, you can practice mindfulness anywhere, anytime. Whether you're in a bustling city park, on a crowded bus, or sitting at your desk at work, mindfulness is always accessible. Waiting in line, mindful moment. Use that time to check in with yourself, notice your breathing, and observe your surroundings without judgment. Walking the dog, mindful moment. Feel the ground beneath your feet, notice the rhythm of your steps, and take in the sights and sounds around you. Every moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness and enrich your life. Ever spent way too long deciding what to eat for dinner? Yeah, me too. Overthinking can turn even the smallest decisions into monumental tasks. That's where setting time limits comes in handy. When you're faced with a decision, give yourself a reasonable amount of time to weigh your options and then choose. Don't get bogged down in endless what-ifs and maybes. Think about it like ordering at a restaurant. You wouldn't spend an hour agonizing over whether to get the pasta or the salad, would you? Apply that same principle to other decisions in your life. Set a timer, do a little research if needed, and then trust your gut and go for it. Our brains are like that friend who always assumes the worst-case scenario. We often believe these negative thoughts without question, but what if we treated them with a little more skepticism? Ask yourself, is there any evidence to support this thought? What's a more balanced perspective? It's like when you were a kid and you were convinced there was a monster under the bed. Your parents would turn on the light, show you there was nothing there, and suddenly your fear would disappear. Shine a light on your thoughts, examine them from different angles, and often you'll find they're not as scary or realistic as they initially seemed. Control what you can, let go of the rest. Worrying about things you can't control is like trying to swim upstream. It's exhausting and gets you nowhere. Focus on what you can control. You can't control the weather, traffic, or other people's actions, but you can control your own reactions and choices. Imagine you're holding on to a bunch of balloons. Some represent things you can control, and others represent things you can't. Holding on to all of them is tiring, right? Now imagine letting go of the balloons you can't control. Feels lighter, doesn't it? Focus your energy on what you can control. Action, the overthinking antidote. Overthinking often keeps us stuck in a cycle of inaction. We find ourselves trapped in a loop, constantly replaying scenarios in our minds, worrying about what could go wrong and doubting our abilities. This mental paralysis can be exhausting and counterproductive. We get so caught up in analyzing every possible outcome that we never actually do anything. The fear of making the wrong decision or not being perfect can be so overwhelming that it stops us in our tracks. But here's the thing. Action is the antidote to overthinking. Taking even the smallest step can create a ripple effect, leading to more actions and gradually building momentum. When you take action, even small steps, You break free from the paralysis of analysis and start moving forward. Each step, no matter how tiny, is a victory over the inertia that overthinking creates. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. At first it seems daunting, and you might be afraid of falling. But with each attempt you gain confidence and skill. You could spend hours reading about it, but you'll never actually learn until you get on the bike and try it. The same principle applies to any goal or task you have in mind. Want to write a book? Start with a sentence. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be a start. Want to learn a new language? Download a language learning app and spend 5 minutes practicing. Those 5 minutes can turn into 10, then 20, and before you know it, you're making real progress. The key is to start small, build momentum, and celebrate your progress along the way. Each small victory is a step towards overcoming overthinking and achieving your goals. Remember, action is the antidote. Information overload, time for a digital detox. We live in a world that's constantly bombarding us with information. While staying informed is important, too much information can fuel overthinking and anxiety. Set boundaries with information intake. Consider setting aside specific times to check social media or watch the news, and try to avoid constantly scrolling or refreshing. Unfollow accounts that trigger negative emotions or comparison, and don't be afraid to take breaks from technology altogether. Disconnecting from the digital world can create space for peace and clarity. Be kind. We tend to be much harder on ourselves than we would ever be on a friend. We often forget that we are deserving of the same kindness and understanding that we so freely give to others. We criticize our every flaw, replay our mistakes on repeat, and engage in negative self-talk. This constant self-criticism can lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem, making it difficult to move forward. But what if we treated ourselves with the same kindness and compassion we offer to others? Imagine the difference it could make in our lives if we practice self-compassion daily. Self-compassion is about recognizing that we're all human, we all make mistakes, and that's okay. It's about understanding that imperfection is a part of the human experience and embracing it rather than fighting it. Imagine a friend came to you feeling down about making a mistake. You wouldn't judge them harshly or make them feel worse. Instead, you'd offer support and understanding. Would you berate them and tell them they're not good enough? Of course not. You'd remind them that everyone makes mistakes and that it's a natural part of learning and growing. You'd offer words of encouragement, remind them of their strengths, and let them know you're there for them. This is the essence of self-compassion, being your own best friend. We deserve to treat ourselves with that same level of care and understanding. By practicing self-compassion, we can build a healthier relationship with ourselves and foster a more positive and resilient mindset. You've got this, and thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.